Hi guys, this is Jerry. Welcome to the video, welcome to my channel as well. This is the first video I'm actually facing the camera. I'm definitely very camera shy, so yeah, it's kind of awkward for me to do any video like this, but I really don't think there's any other way for me to do this sort of video for you. So this is a video I'll show you all the potential issues and potential things you may go through in the first ownership and the new MG ZS EV. Some of the features some of the things may even apply to the Generation 1 ZS EV, even apply to all the other MG cars. I do hope you find this helpful, because we've been selling the new MG ZS EV in New Zealand for quite some time. I've delivered, I can't remember, maybe more than 60-70 cars in the past few months. So yeah, it's been very busy for us, but some customer may come back and may ask these sort of questions. As we all understand, this is a very affordable car, and for some people this may be their initial first ever MG vehicles, or even sometimes first cars with all the safety technologies and stuff like that. So I hope this is helpful. I'll talk a few things, I'll leave all the timestamps down below, and make sure you subscribe and like if you enjoy this video, and make sure you contact me if you're looking to purchase any MG vehicles in Auckland, New Zealand. And let's get into it. So yeah, I'm gonna reading notes from my phone basically. So first question a lot of people have asked is the regen doesn't work in the morning or when I start driving the vehicle initially, stuff like that, and then let's say after 15 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 20 minutes, the regen starts to work basically. So the MG ZS EV, the new EV, or even the old one, does come with a regen called KERS, KERS program, which is your button underneath in the center console that allows you to change the regeneration braking from 1 to 3. At number 3, that will be the heavy regeneration, but the regeneration does not work if your vehicle is nearly fully charged or fully charged. Since your vehicle is fully charged or nearly fully charged, there's no place for the regen braking to regenerate the power back to the battery, pretty much. That's very simple theory, but I guess for someone who have never owned the EV before, this is going to be quite hard to understand. So don't worry, this is why it happens. If your vehicle is fully charged in the morning, around 100% or more than 95%, your regen will not work, even if your regeneration braking has been tuned to number 3. And then after you drive the vehicle, after you start draining the battery, after the vehicle battery percentage drop less than 95%, and then your regen will start backing up basically. You'll notice the regen starts kicking in, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to go back to the dealership to check it or anything like that. You'll save your trip back to the dealership or save your phone call to your salesperson. So this is a small tip. It won't work once the vehicle is fully charged or when the battery is over around 95%. So that's the number 1 of the small things everyone asks. So the number 2 is the HV battery shut off. HV means high voltage battery. So high voltage battery is your drivetrain underneath your drive battery, not the 12-volt battery at the front. So that HV battery shut off message only means your vehicle has not been fully switched on. So for example, if I'm jumping the vehicle, I'm going to use my camera over here and then press the start button over here without tapping the foot on the brake. One touch and the second touch. There we go. So the vehicle, although the screen switched on, although the digital dash switched on, the vehicle motor is actually not switched on. What that means is on the top it will show the HV battery shut off, and on the right you see all the warning, everything like that. So it's switched, it comes on basically. Although you have all those things going on, and obviously on the EV there's no sound, you actually didn't switch on the vehicle motor. That means the HV battery hasn't been fully switched on, hasn't been successfully switched on. And no panic at all. What you want to do is you can switch off the vehicle just by a single tap again, and simply apply your foot on the brake and tap the button again, just like this. So now you hear the small click, and then just wait for the screen. The screen will read ready, system ready. That means your actual motor is actually switched on. And then on the right bottom, you'll see the ready sign as well. So that means your motor is actually switched on. The HV battery shut off sign comes off. So there's no panic if you have this sort of information. All you need to do is just fully switch on the vehicle and make sure you tap the foot on the brake very heavy. Sometimes if you don't tap the foot on the brake, if you even gentle tap on the foot brake, it may not respond or anything like that. So this is very common. Again, no panic. If you miss this, if you see this, just restart the vehicle. It's not a big deal. And the number 3 is the range indication on this vehicle. So the range indication on the new MG ZS EV is a dynamic range. So what that means is based on your driving and the vehicle odometer, everything will fluctuate basically your range indication. So that means when you switch on the vehicle or when you fully charge the vehicle at night, even if you start the vehicle in the morning, it's not going to show 320k every single time, and that will fluctuate based on your driving, based on your average, so the battery consumption depends on where you are and all that things. So this is quite common, there's no panic about it. In case if you do want to get the in case you do want to reset the range indication, what you want to do is very simple. So go into this display panel over here. All you need to do, just basically press left and right. Make sure you go to the vehicle information screen with your motor speed, with your odometer, everything. Underneath, you get a current journey. You can long press OK to reset the current journey, and also press it down to accumulate total, and then again long press OK to reset that range indication. Then on the left, if it's fully charged, if the vehicle is in normal mode, if you didn't switch on the aircon at all, your range indication will go 320k. But in case it shows 280, in case it shows 300, whatever, there's no panic about it. It does not necessarily mean your battery has been dropped after 2 months of driving. It's just a simple feature about the vehicle's let's say dynamic range indication. It's more accurate than it used to be. So yeah, just the number 3. The number 3 thing people generally ask is about the middle screen, the entertainment screen. When you switch off the motor, the entertainment screen doesn't switch off itself automatically. So there are 3 ways it will automatically shut off. If you switch off the vehicle, no panic, you can switch off the screen like in 3 ways. First way is if you go to the home screen and switch off, you can push and hold this home button over here. That allows the vehicle to temporarily go into a ready mode, so it's completely switched off just like that. You can press the button to bring back up again. Second thing, if you lock the vehicle from your key blade, when you get out of the vehicle or from the driver door with the keyless entry, your screen automatically will shut off. And then number 3 is when you leave the vehicle for 10 minutes, it will automatically shut off itself. So there's no panic, it's not going to drain a huge amount of battery. It's just a common thing about this particular screen, so you can still play music even if your vehicle is switched off. And number 5 is the adaptive cruise control and lane departure or the safety technologies temporarily blocked or temporarily not available. So you get all the warnings on the dashboard with the yellow lights and yellow triangles, all that things give you a warning when you actually drive on the motorway or anything like that. That could happen at any point. So what that means is the vehicle is powered. The vehicle is using its front camera, front sensors, radar detect sensors, everything to power all its safety technologies, including the front collision warning, including the lane departure warning, including even the speed sign recognition, even your adaptive cruise control, the MG pilot, or the safety technologies. So because it's relying on the camera, relying on the sensor inbuilt, it could it could be blocked from time to time in extreme cold weather or in rainy weather, in foggy weather, anything like that in these conditions. Or if you're driving uphill in the morning, the direct sunlight comes towards your way, the sensor cannot see much, or the sensor's usability get affected by using these things. So it's a very common thing with all the manufacturers. I've had that in Subaru cars, I've had that in Volkswagen vehicles. Occasionally it will happen. What you want to do, don't worry, there's no panic. You should just resume driving. Once the condition gets better, once the sensor can pick up things like that, it will be able to help you to use those safety technologies again. Again, there's no panic. You don't have to go to dealership every single time, unless this issue becomes a very common. Let's say whenever you start the car, these issues just comes on and never goes off, then that may be the case. You need to talk to your workshop, talk to your local salesperson or anything like that. But for most instances, if those things happens, if the warning comes on, let's say maybe after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, when the weather gets better or when the condition gets better, when you're driving in different directions, these things will get better. So again, there's no panic. This thing does happen. So what I'll do, I'll leave all the screenshot of what's displayed on the owner's menu on the top corner over here, so that allows you to see everything, the explanation in theory. It's just what it is. Unfortunately, you can't change that, we can't change that. It's like human eyes. The eyes can see everything, then we can do something, we can walk straight forward. But if you can't see anything or your vision is blocked, you lose all the sense basically. So it's the car system, it's the technology these days. And again, no panic, just slowly go through that, you should be fine. And the next one is the MG iSmart app is not connecting. So when you scan the QR code on your phone, you've already done registration for the account, you've already done the scanning, all the things, but once you scan it, it just says it's not successful or anything like that. The error message comes up on your devices. So don't worry, there's a quick simple way to fix that, the easiest way. So I'll flick the camera. So in the center menu, what you want to do, you want to go to your settings and you want to go to your general on the top, and then underneath, make sure you check your time over here. So first thing, disable the auto set time if it's there. And second thing, you do your time zone. So go to your time zone. For example, we are in Auckland, we're just gonna select Auckland, but wherever else you are, you just make sure you select your own sort of time zone. And once you select time zone, just enable the auto set time again. Now you want to do, go back to the settings and go to your last one, bind the vehicle, and go through that process again. So this should solve the problem in that case with the binding the vehicle basically. So yeah, that's a quick simple way to fix that particular issue. And yeah, in most cases you should be able to connect, but if it's still not be able to connect, talk to your dealer, talk to your salesperson, hopefully they will be able to help you out. And the number 7 things about the MG ZS EV is a lot of people ask, can you connect multiple devices on the MG iSmart app? So that's the New Zealand Australian version, by the way. So a quick simple way to explain it, it's going to be really hard unfortunately. So on your MG iSmart app, on the vehicle devices, you can only connect to one account basically. If I'm going to register my mobile devices on my MG iSmart app, I'm going to use my account, let's say 1@gmail.com, stuff like that. I'm going to scan the QR code, the vehicle connect to my account, I can work on that particular account. But multiple devices can access to this same account. Let's say my wife's device can access to this account, then she will be able to see the vehicle status, she will be able to control the vehicle from distance and all that things. But at the same time, if she does log in on her device, my device will be kicked out. I have to re-log in again if next time I wish to use it. So the quick simple way to explain it, you can only connect to one account, and then you can only use one device to control the vehicle at each time. If you're going to share the vehicle with someone else, simply just both of you get the account, get the name, get the security code right, and then that means both of you can use the vehicle. All you need to do is just when you use the vehicle, log in the account on your phone, and that's the quickest way to use in between different users and everything. You don't want to create 2 accounts, you don't want to unbind the vehicle, it's just way too much process. So that's one way to fix that. Pretty much the only way, I suppose. Yeah, so hopefully that explain those things. I do get asked about this question a lot every single time I put a video up, or every single time I have a customer who owns the car or who shares the car with someone else. This is quite common, but just a case of that particular thing. And the last one is the charging feature, let's say fault occurred on these vehicles. So in a lot of cases, even on the MG ZS EV first generation, this happens a lot, unfortunately. We haven't got a permanent fix, or MG factory hasn't got a permanent fix. So the easiest way to understand this is it only happens on fast charge. So if you go to a fast charging station, if you use the CCS charging to charge this vehicle or the previous generation vehicle, if the CCS charger itself is faulty, you plug in once, it's faulty, the car does not read it, it's fine. But if you keep plugging in and out, multiple times, the vehicle has its own battery management system that may think the vehicle or yourself are trying to juice the vehicle with a very high voltage. In that case, the vehicle may go into a faulty mode, which is called, I think the name is called vehicle control faulty or vehicle control system fault or anything like that. In those cases, it's going to be your vehicle pretty much going to be shut off and you cannot start the vehicle at all, sort of thing. You're basically stranded at the public charging station. There's one way to fix it, or one possible way. It may or may not fix it. The easiest quick way is to use a spinner, whatever you have, or wrench, whatever, to disconnect the 12-volt battery at the front bonnet. And then once you disconnect, let it sit for, let's say, 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and reconnect again, and then restart the vehicle. Hopefully it will be able to reset the system. Once it's reset, you'll be able to use another charger, so make sure you don't use this faulty charger anymore. Or second way, you may just get stranded completely, unfortunately, so you have to call the MG roadside assistance. That means you can get a tow truck to get your vehicle towed to the nearest MG garage. In most cases, according to my technician, our technician in the EBIT group, it's going to be quite easy fix. Scanning the computer, reset the system, it's all good to go. And there's nothing wrong with that particular vehicle. The vehicle won't just randomly just break down or anything like that after that charging fault issue. But because the charging management system, this may cause a lot of headaches, unfortunately. So my advice in this instance, and the best way, is whenever you go into a public charging station, plug into once, make sure you pay all the things to see if it's charging. If it's not charging, try to ask for help for the charging station. There's always going to be contact numbers, everything. Or try to use a second charger if the first charger doesn't work or anything like that. Try to avoid to plug into a faulty charger into the vehicle too many times, because it could trick the vehicle battery management system on this particular vehicle, and even on the MG ZS EV first generation. Alright, that leads to the final part of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found most of the things helpful. And these are the common issues or common things people occur in the first few weeks and the first few times ownerships. I do hope you don't have to go through all that. But in case you do, hopefully this video is helpful for you in some way. So as always, please subscribe and like and comment down below. I'll be really helpful for the small channel to grow, and even share it to someone you know who is driving this vehicle, may prevent them from a potential headache in the future or anything like that. And I don't know if there's a future update as well. Maybe if we have more issues in the future or anything like that, I'll do a part 2 of this. And this is the first video I'm facing the camera. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but hopefully this is the good video for you to help. And thank you very much. See you next video.